So today we are trying to
fix the coolant.
Yeah, so if you guys remember the big floor heater that was here, we took that out, we removed the coolant from it, and now you have to reroute the tubes.
Back into each other.
Yeah, and then you have to refill the coolant that we took out because it is connected to your engine. And it would be bad if you didn't. You'd have coolant all over the place if you don't do this.
What?
So what he's doing is he's taking the piping, he's putting it into the tubes, and then he's taking, what is that called? That you're tightening right now?
Hose clamps.
A hose clamp, and he's tightening that. So just make sure that you get the right tubing for it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people using copper pipes, which is normally used for welding, but it can be difficult to find the exact right pieces that fit into this particular tubing. Ours was 1 inch inner diameter, so I just ended up using 1 inch galvanized piping and threaded the seal, all the threads. I used Teflon on all the threads, and then just basically made the other thread into a fitting with more Teflon, so it was nice and tight. And then this, you definitely want to crank as tight as you freaking can, so that those threads cannot let any kind of fluid through. Also, be very careful on these pieces right here, these hose clamp pieces. They're very sharp if you are kind of clumsy like you might cut yourself. I did it last week and I'm just finally healing from it. But that was on an aquarium, not the school bus. Anyways, this is fixed.
Yay! So pretty much most of it's all out. We do need to get the angle grinder that will grind off all the rust.
Oh, the brush.
Yeah, a wheel brush for the angle grinder. So it'll grind off all of the rust, and then what we'll do is we'll clean it with soap and water per the instructions of the rust converter, and then we will put that on, and then the rust converter, what it does is it converts the rust. And then we'll put the Rust-Oleum down, and then we'll be able to take these sidings out, which we were hoping to get to this week, but things are just moving a little bit slower than what we thought they would. Morning, guys. So it is Monday of next week, so we've gotten pretty far on the bus. Things are going a little bit slower than what we anticipated, but that's okay because we have plenty of time. We're just so eager to get everything done and want to be able to actually start building in here. But the plans for today, so far we've gotten the metal or the rubber flooring up. As you can see, we still have a few spots, like we have to get this rubber panel off of the wheel well still, and still remove that metal strip right there that's being really stubborn and not wanting to come out. But last week we were able to get all of that out. We're still kind of working with the coolant heater over there with the tubes that we were last week. So our plan for today is to finish getting up the rubber flooring, making sure we get all the metal strips out. We're gonna go to Home Depot right now, and we need to get Cud Crutter, which is gonna help clean the floors. We also need to get a metal attachment to go into our angle grinder that will help sand all of this metal off, because we need to do that and sweep everything, put down the Cud Crutter, and then we're gonna go ahead and do rust converter, and we're also gonna put a metal piece down and try to get some of the rust that's rusted through out of here, which we were trying to do last week, but things just took longer than what we thought they were gonna do. So a lot of today is all flooring and just making sure that we're covering all of our bases. We have to plug up all the holes that were drilled into. So we're gonna plug that up with Loctite, which is like a polyurethane caulk that we're gonna put inside of there. Yeah, so we have a lot to do this week, but hopefully once we get the flooring done, then we'll actually be able to start framing, which we're really excited about that. That's like our main, well, I'm really excited about that, because then we can start doing all the layout and the fun stuff. Finally got the last piece of metal. Woohoo! And the last piece of rubber. Good job, babe. Yay, look at all that. Finally, it's all out. Yay, that's freaking awesome. We got the huge piece of rust out. Well, fish did. Is that the piece?
It doesn't look so bad on the underside.
But there was a couple holes that we wanted to make sure. Yep. So what'd you do?
I used a metal piece for the jigsaw to get what I could, but the rest of it I had to angle grind because it was over this beam. And the jigsaw was going to cut right through it, which it did. So we'll have to cover that up, make sure it's structurally stable.
Yep, but the floors are coming along. They're starting to look really good. So we're feeling positive. Okay guys, so this is where we're at with the bus. Fish has been doing so much work. I can't even believe it. It's absolutely insane. Hey Siege. So this is what we have going on right now with the bus and what he's done so far. I'm gonna show you guys. So most of our flooring is done. Fish really went to work on it, getting all this stuff grinded up. Like that was completely busted through. Now look at it. Ooh. But what we have to do now is this is a hole right here that's cut through because it was completely rusted through. And we didn't want to risk it. So, as you can see, hello bus, hello floor. So we're gonna have a welder friend come out and fix that. But what we're doing right now is we have to be able to put down the crud cutter. We have to wash all of the floors and get them ready. So we're gonna power wash it and then let it, well, we're gonna just washing it, I guess, not power washing it. So we're gonna wash it, and then we're gonna let it all dry out, and then we'll put the crud cutter on because it has to sit for how long, babe?
24 hours.
24 hours. So we'll show you what we do. We just sprayed the inside of the bus, and now we need to go and squeegee it through and then let it dry, and then we're going to put the crud cutter down to start prepping the bus. So we just used this, the crud cutter, as you can see on the floors. After we grinded, we sanded it, and we brushed it as well, like to get all the rust up. Then we cleaned it, and now we put crud cutter is down. So this is earth friendly, which we're very much cautious about, but it's steam remover. And it's a good degreaser to help prime and prep before you start doing everything else. So that is officially down. That has to sit and dry for 24 hours. So we are excited that that is down. And we are one step closer to getting these floors done. Here's a little tip. Don't rush. Honestly, like, we thought we'd be done with this already. And things are just taking longer than what we thought they would take. And we're okay with that because we have plenty of time. We really just want to try to get like the flooring and the framing done before winter hits, because we do live in Michigan, so usually it comes around, it starts getting really cold like end of October, beginning November here. So yeah, we have a few months left to really get this going, and things, like I said, are taking longer than what we expected. So we're just giving ourselves lots of time, not trying to rush it, and just enjoying the process, even though it can be frustrating. So little tips for you guys, like, don't feel if you get overwhelmed, like, slow down, take a break, because that happens. This is like new, you know, so yeah. All right guys, so we have put down the crud cutter, and it has sat for 24 hours, and now we're going to spray it out and use like a scrubby brush to get off all the crud that has been left behind on the floor. And then we were gonna do the rust converter, but unfortunately we can't because we live in Michigan where the humidity is super high. So right now it's seeing that the temperature is like 94 degrees, and you can only use the rust converter between temperatures of 50 and 90 degrees. And the humidity has to be under 65%. So the weather is just not permitting it for us. So hopefully we can do that tomorrow. But we are gonna start with the floors, and we'll show you guys right now. Hi guys, so we are back in the bus. Well, I am. Fish is at work, and we've been wanting to do the rust converter, but we haven't been able to. It's super humid and not the right temperature, because for this to work you have to have 65% less humidity. We just haven't had that. So today is a wonderful, beautiful day, and this is what we're gonna do. So we've like you've seen, we've sanded it down, we've grinded it down, we angle grind it down. We try to get as much rust as possible. We've put down the crud cutter, and now it's time for rust reformer, which is instantly converts rust to a protected paintable surface. So it just converts rust, and then we'll put a Rust-Oleum down. Now, next week, we're having Chris's welder friend come out and help us with the flooring back there, because there's a couple holes, and then there's also stairs that we have to do. So he's gonna help with that. So we can't officially finish the floors, but we're just getting steps closer to that, which is really nice. Because honestly, I am ready for the floors to be done. So it says on here, you gotta shake it really well and then just spray it. We got 3 cans, so hopefully it's enough, but we'll see.
Talk about what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove the white panels.